for that update again on the suspect, 24-year-old white male in custody. On the phone with us, Lori, a witness, someone in the theater. Hi, Lori, and thank you for taking time. Tell me where you were at the time.
I was in Theater 8. I was sitting up towards the top on the end.
And what did you see and hear?
The movie had barely started. We weren't even a half hour into it when it got to a shooting scene in the movie, and at the same time there were the gunshots, the real ones. And it took people a little while to kind of realize what happened, because it just seemed extra loud. Everyone jumped like you normally would. And then my friend sitting next to me turned towards me, and she got part of a bullet hit her in the mouth, and she was bleeding through the mouth. So she and I ran down the stairs to go to the bathroom, not knowing what had happened, to see what was going on, when a couple other guys from our same theater stopped us from going into the main lobby of the building, saying there was a shooting. And we ran out to the emergency exit doors that lead outside when we barely got out there, and a whole bunch of other people started running and screaming that way, coming from the other theater. And people were bleeding and couldn't walk from being hit.
Oh, how scary. And your friend, you said, was hit in the mouth. Is he or she okay?
She's okay. I actually knew 2 other people that got hit too, so I know 3 of them.
And all of you were in Theater 8, so the shooting happened in Theater 9, and those were bullets that came through the walls?
No, it was in Theater 8 and 9.
Yeah.
2 of my other friends, they were in Theater 9, and I didn't see them until after. I didn't know they were there.
Okay.
So you've gone with a big group, hoping to see the new movie.
Yeah, I just went with my sister and my friend that got hit in the mouth.
Okay. And Lori, tell me, how old are you?
I'm 18.
18.
Was your theater packed as well?
My theater was very packed. The only row that wasn't almost completely full was the very front one.
Yeah. And so when you got out of there, where did you go? Did the police help get you off scene? And did you end up going to Gateway High School or just get right home?
We didn't get to leave until 3:30. We got some EMTs and people came in to help into our theater, and they came over to me and my friend since she was bleeding. And they rushed us out of the theater first before everyone else in our theater. And they just kept telling us, they were like, go to the next police officer, go to the police officer over there. And each police officer just kept sending us in, to the next one farther away, until they finally got a little area, just a little bit outside of the theater, where they started lining up and gathering a bunch of the injured people, which is where I saw my other 2 friends who had been shot.
Wow. So police actually stopped you in the theater, and that's where they began organizing all of you who had witnessed the shooting, who were injured in the shooting, and started asking questions?
Yeah, the second we were out of our individual theater, someone came in there and said, these 2 need to come with us first, talking about me and my friend, because she was injured, and they took the 2 of us. And then when we left our theater, there were a whole bunch of police officers and SWAT people there with their guns and gas masks on, starting to look for everything and getting people out.
And what kinds of questions were they asking you? Just what did you see? What did you hear? I mean, the basics, or was it more?
Yeah, the basics, asking the police how the guy, or where it happened and how it happened, and just everything like that.
I would imagine most people in the theater would certainly have no idea what in the world was going on. Mm-hmm. Tell me again, what went through your mind? Did you just think it was part of a special effect, or what were you thinking?
I don't know. At first, honestly, it just sounded like how movies get really loud and people jump and it's all around you. It just seemed like that at first, and then my friend turned towards me and she was bleeding, and she and I had been eating food at the time, so I kind of thought that, like, it wasn't a big deal. She, like, bit her tongue or something, and it started bleeding until I saw it, like, gushing. And then I looked over to the right, and there was smoke down at the bottom right of the theater. And so that's when I think we first started realizing that something was really going on.
So, Lori, we talked to another man who was in the theater next to you who said it was a serious moment in the movie. It was fairly a subdued time, and then those shots rang out, and you mentioned that there was a shooting scene right about the exact same time. So did you get the impression that this person was, kind of calculating the timing of all this?
I think they were. I think they planned it out really well, because obviously, like, if they had done it at a different point in the movie, then people would have realized faster that something happened. So doing it while there was already a shooting gave them more time to get away, because it was a slower reaction time for the audience to know that something really was wrong. And the thing was, like, the theater I was in, our movie started at 12:01. Theater 9 started at 12:05. So it really was just a couple-minute difference where the scenes were just barely off from each other, and he could have easily gotten them.
Yeah, right. I mean, yeah, the theater, the timing of the shows may be just a few minutes apart from each other. So, yeah, that's why some witnesses telling us, no, in Theater 9, it seemed like it was a rather quiet scene. And then Theater 8, they're telling us it happened approximately when there was some kind of a shootout in the movie, which complicated matters. And that's what you witnessed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, Lori, we really appreciate you talking with us this morning and sharing your thoughts and your witness information. It's very interesting, certainly, and it's concerning to hear about the situation you and your friends found yourself in. Glad that it sounds like your friend's going to be okay and that you made it out safely.
Yes. Thank you, Lori. Lori Schafer, 18 years old. Thank you so much for sharing with us, and I'm glad you're okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Give your parents a hug.
All right. Thank you.